I've always wondered myself, why do we have to hear this every night, what the stock market is doing?
70 record closing highs so far for the Dow.
Blasting through a ceiling.
In a record-setting IPO.
Investors who have been riding the wave.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Experience-Centered E-Learning or Excel. Today, we have invited another special guest to talk about trading and investment. Let's all welcome Enzo Cagampan, also known as Gagamba Trader.
Hi guys, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. So we're going to talk about Technical Analysis 101. So my name is Enzo Cagampan, also known as Gagamba Trader. So yeah, graduate ako ng finance sa De La Salle University, Manila, and I'm currently an independent private equities fund manager, and I was also a former research associate intern for Investograms. And ngayon, specifically ang tinitrade ko ngayon is the US stock market and cryptocurrency, so hati-hati. And before actually, nung nag-start ako March 2019, I was trading the Philippine Stock Exchange. Tapos a year later, I fully transitioned to the global markets para lang ma-explore yung mas maraming opportunities. Right? Basically, technical analysis is the study of historical price and volume behavior, right? So, in comparison sa fundamental analysis wherein yung mga investors, they're looking at financial statements and etc. Ang traders naman, we look at charts, mga chart patterns, volume behavior, price behavior, etc. So, this is an example of a chart here. This is a stock called Sunrun. So anyway, that doesn't matter. Pero ang price, mukha siyang mga candlesticks here. Mukha siyang mga kandila. Itong mga green and red candles here. And yung volume is yung mukhang bar chart sa baba. Dito sa baba. Alright. And ito, patuturuan ko kayo paano magbasa ng candlesticks. So, ito na lang, in the context of the Philippines. Kasi sa Philippine Stock Exchange, yung stock market ay nag-open ng 9:30 ng umaga, and as of now, nag-close ng 1:00 ng hapon. Right? So, open, syempre, kung ano yung price sa opening, dito siya magre-reflect. Yung pinaka-high na nirating ng price for the day, of course, dito sa tick. Yung pinaka-low na nirating ng price for the day, dito sa pinaka-lowest ng candle. Tapos, syempre, kung saan nag-close, dito. And nag-differentiate siya kapag green or red yung candlestick. For example, sabihin natin, ng 9:30 ng umaga, nag-open yung stock at 1 peso. So, syempre, during trading hours, nag-fluctuate yung price, right? Hindi lang yan 1 peso for the whole trading session. So, for example, again, 9:30 in the morning, nag-open yung stock at 1 peso. Tapos siguro mga 10 o'clock, nag 1.05 pesos rather. Tapos, biglang 10:30, nag 0.98 cents. Tapos, let's say, ng mga 12 ng hapon, naging 1.1 pesos. Tapos pagka-close, pagka-patak ng 1 o'clock ng hapon, naging, let's say, 1.08 pesos. So, itong high and low, it doesn't matter kung anong time siya naganap. As long as yun yung pinaka-highest na reach ng price na yun for the day, or yun yung pinaka-lowest na reach ng price na yun for the day, yun ang magre-reflect dito sa mga ticks na yan. So, ito yung lowest, ito yung highest. Syempre, ito yung open. Syempre, yung open, kung green, right? Green means profit, di ba? So, kung open, syempre, yung mas lower siya kaysa sa closing. Dito. Kapag, pag red naman, syempre, vice versa siya. Yun. So, again, kunyari, 9:30 ng umaga, opening, 1 pesos. Ito yung lowest, 98 cents. Let's say, ito yung highest, 1.1 pesos. And yung closing, let's say, 1.08 pesos. So, that's how it works. So, sa technical analysis kasi, price moves and trends. So, ang unang-una sa lahat is of course uptrend. Right? So, this is an example of a stock called Tesla. Makikita nyo naman, kahit wala nang drawing or etc., kita naman from your eyes, napataas yung price. And syempre, yung isa is downtrend. So, this is a sugar futures contract. So, commodity ito. E makikita dito, pababa yung presyo. And of course, meron ding sideways. So, this is a US stock, yung United Parcel Service, parang LBC ng US. So ito, makita nyo, sideways yung galaw. And yes, you can argue na sa sideways na yan, may maliliit na uptrend, may maliliit na downtrend, may maliliit na uptrend, etc., etc. But in the bigger picture, you can argue na it's sideways. So yun, tatlo ang trends natin sa mga charts. And of course, isa pang principle when it comes to learning technical analysis is the concept of support and resistance. So given a time, a stock will be able to establish significant highs and lows, forming what we call a trading range. So this is actually called the trading range. Itong sideways na movement ng isang stock or isang asset. Right? So this is actually an example of the battle of support and resistance. So basically, makikita nyo dito, itong area sa baba, tinatawag niya na support kasi literal, sinusuportahan niya yung presyo na hindi bumaba pa. Again, sinusupport niya yung presyo here. And itong resistance, itong nasa taas, nire-resist niya yung presyo na umakyat pa. So, kada tama ng price sa resistance, yun, tinan nyo, nababangga. So, that's a trading range. Pero, what if yung price mag-breach above sa resistance? Right? So, nagkakaroon lang ng switch dito. Nagkakaroon lang ng switch of rules. So maaari, itong resistance na to, magiging old resistance siya, turned into new support. So, dito naman siya ulit. Itong price, sinusupport ito. Tapos ito, nire-resist ulit dito. So, yun. That's the concept of support and resistance switch. And I'll get into more details later. So, again, price near support, demand increases. As you can see, nung pagka-explain ko dito kanina, kada touch ng price dito sa baba, pinaprevent ng area na ito na bumaba palalo yung price. Talagang sinusupport pa siya. And resistance, of course, meaning supply increases. Nauuntog siya dito sa areas na to. Right. So ito, for example, Metro Pacific Investments Corporation, this is one of a stock dito sa Philippine Stock Exchange. Makita natin dito, if you're simply trading support and resistance, you can make a lot of money out of it as well. So dito, kunyari, bibili ka lang sa support, tapos bibenta mo sa resistance. Dito sa trading range na yan, pwede ka maka-net ng 30%. And ito, isa pang example, Forex naman to, GBP USD. Same concept applies. So, yun nga, sinasabi ko kanina na kapag yung price nag-breach sa resistance, nag-breach above resistance rather, that's called the breakout. So, yun yung pinaka-common na trading strategy sa technical analysis, by the way. And often than not, breakouts usually lead to big moves. So, for example, dito si Spotify, na nag-breakout siya dito sa isang trading range na ito. As you can see, ilang beses na rin siyang na-reject dito sa resistance. Tapos ultimately, nung nag-breach na siya sa resistance, ang laki ng naging upside niya. So in a few days, nakapag-gain ka na ng 55%. So, solid, diba? The next one, ito maganda example to si Neo. Ito, nagkaroon ng trading range. May kita nyo resistance. Ayun, yung price na nire-reject parati itong area na to. Tapos ultimately, nung nag-breakout siya, ang lakas, in 2 days, nagkaroon na ng 34% gain. Ito, this is one of my favorite examples, si Haven. Ito yung isang business ni Villar. Golden Bria Holdings. Nag-breakout, sobrang lakas. Tapos may kita nyo, 2,000% yung tinaas niya after that initial breakout. So, yung support resistance switch, ito, explain ko pa ng mas maayos. So, gumamit ako ng real na price chart. So, this is EEI. This is a company here in the Philippines that is listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange. So, may kita nyo dito, nagkaroon ng trading range here. Ito, nag-form ng resistance. And as you can see, yung price, ultimately, nung nag-breakout siya, na-resist naman siya dito. Tapos bumagsak. Yung old resistance, naging new support. Sinuportahan pa siya dito kaso wala. Na-olats. So again, bumaba. Tapos nung umakyat ulit yung price, itong old resistance re-established itself as a new resistance ngayon. So nung nauntog, nag-breakout naman ulit. Again, old resistance naging new support. Tapos ulit, nung nag-breakout dito, itong resistance na to, ni-resist muna itong price na ito. Tapos again, nung nag-breakout, itong old resistance, naging new support, and so on and so forth. So, that's how it works. So, na-explain ko na pag yung price nag-breach above resistance, it's called the breakout. And kapag yung opposite naman is yung price, if it breaks below support, that's called the breakdown. So, you can see here, si Jollibee, Of course, this is a stock from the Philippine Stock Exchange. Nagkaroon ng isang trading range dito. Tapos, yung price, nag-breach below the support. So, ano nangyari? Natuluyan na. Bumagsak ng bumagsak. And I think yung pinaka-lowest nito was in March 2020. Umabot pa siya ng 100. Hindi. Below 100 pesos pa siya. 90 pesos pa siya. So, if long-term investor ka, tapos meron ka sa 300 pesos, iyak na. Diba? So, anyhow. So, summary lang naman natin is where to buy a stock. Sa support o kaya sa breakout. And saan ka mag-sell? Sa resistance o kaya sa mga breakdowns. So, basically, that covers yung basic technical analysis 101. And ngayon, as a bonus, magtuturo naman ako mga basic indicators or kung kaya't mga indicators na ginagamit ko on the daily sa aking pag-trade. So basically, indicators are additional tools to further analyze a chart. Ako, personally, the indicators that I only use are price and volume, and minsan moving averages, and paminsan RSI. Pero most of the time, just price and volume. I'm really influenced with the trading strategy kasi ni Mark Minervini, ni Nicholas Darvas, Jesse Livermore, etc. So, yeah, I just like to keep things simple. So, ganun lang yung mga indicators ko. So anyway, ito, volume. It is the amount of shares being traded over a time period. And yun nga sinabi ko kanina, ito yung mga mukhang bar charts. Balik tayo sa isang chart. Ito yung mga mukhang bar charts sa ilalim. Like this one. Alright. So, sa volume kasi there are a lot of rules. Alright. So, number one is volume should increase as price increases. As you can see dito, kada increase ng Meralco, tumataas din yung volume. Tumataas yung price, tumataas din yung volume. Kasi volume signifies the amount of buyers and sellers participating in that said stock. So, it makes sense na tataas yung presyo and yung volume tumataas din. Meaning, maraming bumibili. So, yung volume tumataas, yung price tumataas. So, I hope you get that. So, ganun. Nag-increase yung price, nag-increase yung volume. Nag-increase yung price, nag-increase yung volume. Which makes sense. And dapat in a pullback, volume should decrease as price retraces. So, ang pullback, ibig sabihin lang nan is, kunyari nag-breakout, tapos yung price bumalik sa old resistance, turn to new support. So, yun ang ibig sabihin ng pullback, just such as this one. So, may kita nyo, nung nag-breakout, nagkaroon ng massive volume. So, yun, marami bumili. Nag-breakout, tumaas yung presyo, tumaas din yung volume. As you can see dito, nung nag-consolidate siya dito, by the way, consolidation means sideways. So, yeah. So, dito, nag-consolidate siya dito, gumawa siya ng trading range here. Makita nyo, nung nag-pullback, yung volume, nag-retrace. Yung volume, humina. So, that's what you'd like to see when you're looking at a pullback. So, again, trading range, low volume. Breakout, dapat mataas yung volume. Something like that. Tapos, in a downtrend, heavy volume validates the trend. So, kanina, sinabi ko na kapag yung presyo tumaas, yung price tumaas, yung price tumaas, tapos yung volume tumaas, solid. Kasi it makes sense. Pero kapag nakita nyo yung price bumababa, tapos yung volume tumataas, nako, bad news na yan. Ibig sabihin nun, maraming nagbebentahan na buyers and sellers. Mas maraming sellers kaysa sa buyers. Yung ibig ko sabihin pala. So kung nakakita kayo ng downtrend tapos increasing yung volume, stay away muna kayo. Kasi mainit-init pa yung stock na yan. Yung chances mo na pagbili mo dito habang downtrend tapos yung volume nag-i-increase, baka lumusaw pa ng lumusaw yun. So, yun lang. And of course, yung sinasabi ko kanina, pag breakout, heavy volume must be present on a breakout. As you can see dito sa Bitcoin, nung nag-breakout siya ng $12,000, ang taas ng volume. And as of now, no, pagka-check ko siguro an hour ago, Bitcoin's already at 60,000. So, yeah, cryptocurrency is life, folks. Tapos, another rule is kapag merong high volume amidst a selling spree, that may indicate the bottom. So as you can see dito sa First Philippine Holdings Corporation, nagkaroon ng downtrend dito. Tapos, randomly, nagkaroon ng isang volume spike. Tapos itong candle na to, halos walang activity. Halos, wala lang, mukha lang siyang doji. right? So kapag nakita ko yun ng ganyan, na yung volume parang sakto lang, hindi ganoon ka wild, parang medyo tulog lang yung candle, tapos nakita ko yun ng volume na nagkaroon ng sudden spike, that may be an indication that it's already the bottom. Pero not always, right? So, the bigger picture nangyari, ito yun eh. Ito yung baba. Tapos, ito yung kanina, here. Ang nangyari, that was the bottom. Tapos, nag-increase ng 100%. So, solid. And next is moving averages. This is one of my favorites. So, again, moving averages is an indicator to identify trends. Tapos, it is also used as a dynamic support and resistance, which I will get into later. And this is just my own opinion. Using price, volume, and moving averages, swak na. Pero honestly, mas swak na talaga price and volume lang. So, bakit tinatawag na moving? Kasi it is adjusted every time new data is available. So, papakita ko sa inyo kung paano ba siya kino-compute. So, for example, day 1. Sabihin natin day 1 ha. Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sabihin natin I wanna whip out in MA5. Sabihin natin first day naging 1 pesos. Second day naging 1.02. Third day naging 1.05. Fourth day naging 1.03. Tas fifth day naging 1.01. So ang ginagawa ng moving average is kukunin niya yung sum nitong 5 days since MA5 ang ginamit natin. So kukunin niya yung sum ng 5 days, 1 plus 1.02 plus etc. divided by 5. Dito. Tapos kung ano man yung value nan, sorry di ako magaling sa math. Kung ano man yung value yan, yun yung current na standing ng moving average na yan. So, it's kind of confusing. Kaya papakita ko na to sa next slide. Ito yung examples ng moving averages. Siguro kung, familiar na kayo sa trading, nakakita kayo for sure ng mga tao or ng mga traders na nag-analyze ng mga charts nila. May mga squiggly lines sa kanilang mga charts. So, this is an example. Yung blue is yung MA20, which represents yung 20 days na moving averages. MA50 is green, MA100 is orange, MA200 is violet. And as you can see, the more na mas konti yung ginamit na data dun sa moving averages, mas makulit siya in comparison dun sa mga mas madami na data na ginamit. So, in comparison sa MA20, makulit siya. And in comparison sa MA200, mas straight yung line niya. So, ganun yung pagkaka-compute nun. Yung 20 days, kukunin yung sum ng 20 days, tapos i-divided by 20. Tapos, makukuha mo na yung data nito. So, that's how you compute it. And, wag nyo na problemahin yung computation nun kasi charting softwares do it for us already. Right? So, moving averages, how do you use them? So, there are a lot of ways to actually profit from this indicator. So ito meron tinatawag na golden cross, and this is a buying signal. Ang golden cross means ang short-term moving average crosses above a longer-term moving average. And in this example, yung MA20 is yung blue, MA15 is yung green. And this is an example of a cryptocurrency na coin, Sun Tether US. Makita nyo dito, yung MA20, nung nag-cross siya above MA50, nagkaroon na ng uptrend. And the reverse is true. Meron tinatawag na death cross. And it could also be used as a selling signal. So in this case, shorter term moving averages crosses below the longer term moving average. And again, MA20 is blue, MA50 is green. And as you can see here, nung nag-cross below ang MA20 sa MA50, nagkaroon na ng start of a downtrend. And of course, you can use other MAs like MA50, MA100, MA200, ganyan-ganyan. Pero the same concept applies. Shorter term moving averages crosses above or below translates to a golden cross or death cross respectively. So, ang disadvantage na kasi talaga sa paggagamit ng moving averages, and this is one of the reasons why I don't really use it that much, is it can actually confuse you. Lalo na kapag yung price is in a sideways movement. As you can see dito, MA50 is yung green MA200 is yung purple. Sorry, I forgot to put that as a legend. But as you can see dito, nung nag-cross below yung MA50 sa MA200, umakyat pa siya. Pero eventually bumaba, Tapos, ayun, naging tangled na siya. So, it's very confusing reading. And another example is dito sa Bitcoin na chart, may kita nyo yung MA50 and MA200, naging parang spaghetti na dito sa trading range na yan. So, kapag ginamit mo yan as a buying and selling signal, nako, sobrang hassle, di ba? So, for me, moving averages are best accompanied with price. So, for instance, this is an example of a stock from Philippine Stock Exchange, SLI or Santa Lucia Land. Makita nyo dito, kapag yung moving averages mo, alright, assuming that you're gonna use 20, 50, 100, 200. Kapag nakita mo yung price nagko-consolidate, tapos yung moving averages mo, naging spaghetti siya, naging tangled siya, that is a confirmation that the price is creating a trading range or that the price is consolidating or is currently consolidating rather. And kung makikita nyo na yung price tumataas, tapos yung moving averages are also rising accordingly, MA20 is yung blue, 50 green, 100 yung violet, and 200 yung purple, makikita nyo, uptrend siya, tapos ganito rin yung ganito din yung behavior ng moving averages mo. You can safely assume that the stock is in an uptrend. And the reverse is true dito naman sa downtrend na ito. Makikita nyo yung MA200 na sa taas, 100 na sa baba, 50 na sa baba, 20 na sa baba, and yung price is pa-decline. So, you can safely assume that's a downtrend. So, another thing is, it is actually best used as a dynamic support and resistance. Again, dynamic ang tawag because it is moving. Alright? So, may kita dito sa DocuSign. This is actually one of my real trades. Nabili ko siya dito around 100. Tapos, di na updated yung chart na to, unfortunately. But, nabenta ko siya sa may $200 na area. So, solid. Why? Dahil lang sa mga moving averages. So, in this instance, MA20, which is yung blue, pwede siyang gamitin as a support level. Kung makikita nyo dito, if na-miss nyo yung breakout, ayos lang. Pwede nyo abangan yung dynamic support na MA20 nito. As you can see, yung price nung tumama siya sa MA20, nag-bounce back siya ulit. Tapos nung tumama siya sa MA20 ulit, nag-bounce back siya ulit. So again, you can use it as a dynamic support. Another continuation of using moving averages as a dynamic support. As you can see here, this is a US stock called Teladoc. Nakita nyo dito, MA20 and MA50 ang ginagamit as a dynamic support. And as you can see dito, there were instances na yung MA20 nag-fail. Pero makita nyo dito, yung MA50 nag-hold pa naman. So dito, again, ito yung mga dynamic support natin. And dito naman sa instance na to, both MA20 and MA50 broke down. But then again, don't look at moving averages lang rather. Price is king. So again, this is a type of chart pattern called a triangle in general. And unfortunately, hindi na siya kasama sa aking presentation. Pero it's gonna be included sa further studies natin sa last slide ko. So anyhow, instead na ginagamit din ng mga moving averages as a dynamic support, pwede rin natin gamitin siya as dynamic resistance levels. So for instance, this is a stock from Philippine Stock Exchange called Greenergy. Makita natin dito, assuming na you bought here at breakout and you bought here again at breakout, pwede mong selling signal ang dynamic resistance levels. And in this case, this is MA200, itong violet. So pwede kang mag-sell dito. So yeah, again, for further study, please check out risk management system, ang tamang pagpo-position sizing, which is also included dyan sa RMS, and of course, trend lines and channels, price patterns, and other indicators pa such as RSI, MACD, stochastics, Fibonacci, etc. And if you're really interested with advanced strategies, you can also check out Elliott Waves. But before doing so, I really suggest na hindi man i-master, no, but to be familiarized with traditional technical analysis, which is the one that I just taught you earlier rather. And of course, pag-aralan nyo rin yung pag-screen ng stocks and yung pag-journal ng trades. And almost everything na pinakita ko dito sa further studies, meron ako mga posts nan sa aking Facebook page. So, again, ito naman, mga book recommendations ko naman. Of course, I highly recommend Trading Code by Jason Cam. It is actually a book na nire-recommend ko talaga sa mga newbie kasi it is a really good book as a foundation sa mga technical analysis. So, tinuturo din yung mga itinuro ko before. Plus. So after that, after reading Trading Code by Jason Camp, pwede mo nang isunod yung Trade Like a Stock Market Wizard by Mark Minervini, and the list goes on. Anyway, this is my page. Currently, I have 3,700 followers and hopefully counting. And really, ang ginagawa ko talaga sa page na ito is weekly nagkakaroon ako mga posts. At least once a week, meron akong post. And the reason why I created the page is because it's actually my mission and vision to really contribute to the growing Filipino investors and traders here in the Philippines. My page is completely free. Sinishare ko lahat ng knowledge and insights ko ng libre, lahat ng mga natutunan ko na paid. Yun, syempre, sinishare ko lang ng libre because again, that's my vision and mission. So yeah, thank you very much, and if you have any more questions, feel free to give me an email or mag-message na lang kayo sa FB page ko or i-message niyo ako sa personal Facebook account ko. So, yeah, thank you very much. Yun lang.
What's the biggest misconception about trading and investing, and how can you debunk this?
The biggest misconception talaga is that a lot of people think it's easy. Yun talaga yun eh. Meron kasi mga seminars or webinars or whatnot na pinapakita lang yung good side ng trading and investing. Hindi nila pinapakita yung downsides. In which case, dito sa PowerPoint presentation ko, medyo pinakita ko naman din yung mga downsides such as yung mga breakdowns and etc. And dahil sa mga ganun na mga pagtuturo, nagkakaroon ng misconception sa mga tao na dali lang pala, breakout, sige, bilhin ko lang yan, tutuloy yan. Pero of course, there are times na that's not the case, right? Pwedeng pagka-breakout, bumalik ulit sa trading range, etc. So yeah, I really think a lot of people think that it's really easy, and in fact, sobrang hindi talaga. Actually, this is a really difficult endeavor, and the only reason why I'm keeping up is because I really love what I'm doing, and I really see this as a passion of mine that I'm willing to do for the rest of my life, right? So yeah, that's all.
Thank you for that. So for beginners, how much starting capital do you recommend?
When I first started, I started with 30,000 eh. Tapos, actually, nung pag-start ko ng 30,000, naging 25 pa yan. So, nagka-losses pa ako nun. Tapos after that, nung nabawi ko siya, medyo nag-break even, tapos nag-gain ng konti. Nag-add na ako ng funds, savings ko, kinuha ko 60k, naging 100k, ganyan. Pero yun, ang nire-recommend ko talaga sa mga starters is sana 30k man lang minimum para talagang maramdam mo yung sipa ng markets. Kasi kung mas maliit pa dun, usually pag nagka-loss ka, baka wala lang sa'yo eh. Pero kapag mas malaki na yung volume or mas malaki na yung pera na nilalagay mo sa market, yun, mas ramdam mo na yung sipa. Right? And of course, to exponentially compound your capital, you have to have more ammo. So yeah, yun lang.
For beginners, which markets do you recommend?
In my opinion, doesn't matter eh. Kasi I had friends na ang una nilang tinrade, cryptocurrency agad eh. May mga friends ako unang tinrade Forex. May friends ako unang tinrade US stock market. Kasi yun ang isang common misconception when it comes to Filipino traders and or investors is dapat sa Philippine Stock Exchange muna. Pero kasi ito, isipin nyo, yung mga kano ba na newbie, nag-isip ba sila na, sige, mag-Indonesian stock market ako or whatnot? Syempre, una nilang tinira US stock market agad. So, again, it doesn't matter as long as you know what you're getting into and you know what's the difference between the Philippine Stock Exchange, between the global markets in general, ganyan. So, for instance, kunyari, if you're shifting from the Philippine Stock Exchange to the US stock market, dapat familiar ka sa mga earnings surprise. So, ganun, you have to really know the differences and you really have to know what you're getting into. In a nutshell, yung first market mo doesn't matter.
Now that we're in a pandemic, the stock market can be very vulnerable. How do you manage trading, or what's your advice for trading in a bear market?
When it comes into a bear market, actually, kind of beg to differ. Kasi, yeah, it was a bear market from February to March 2020. Pero nung April 2020, nag-bounce yung market eh. And a lot of people were very bearish with it. Pero I was able to profit from that bounce. So, Ngayon kasi nung nag-crash yung nag-crash yung global markets, yung whole financial markets in general, nag-crash ng March 2020, nag-recover na siya ngayon, right? It's already trading at all-time high. And during those times, nung mga April hanggang December, a lot of people were really bearish. Pero ako, I was neutral lang. And how was I able to trade despite that environment? I was using the bottom-up approach. So, inintroduce to ni Mark Minervini sa libro niya na Trade Like a Stock Market Wizard, wherein a trader should focus muna sa mga individual stocks. So, focus ka muna sa mga individual stocks, yung mga leaders, which will eventually lead you sa mga sectors nila, sa indices nila, and etc. So, bottom up. Kasi kapag top down, ang nangyayari kasi dyan is, kunyari, PSE, nakita mo, pangit yung Philippine Stock Exchange Index, yung trader, madi-discourage na mag-participate sa market na yun. Pero little did he know na may mga outliers pa rin. Kasi again, yung mga indices, blue chips kasi yung nagko-comprise niyan, hindi yung mga small cap, hindi yung mga mid cap. So, even if yung index bumababa, may mga outliers pa rin na small to medium caps na hindi na-account dun sa index na yun. So again, bottom-up approach lang. And ngayon, I wouldn't really say it's a bear market. Sabi ko na sa US stock market, I'm just really neutral bottom-up approach lang ako. Pero ito, guaranteed cryptocurrency bull market. Yun. Lalo na when it broke out ng $12,000 nung mga around October or November. Maraming sumabay na mga altcoins, Ethereum, Ripple, etc. Diba, nagkaroon ng hype pa sa Dogecoin. Ganyan. So, ngayon, cryptocurrency, guaranteed bull market. US stock market, kind of neutral. Sabihin ko siguro, sideways market, something like that. So, yeah, yun lang.
The last question, what's your advice for students who are interested to trade but are unsure on how to start?
But obviously, itong video na to, ito yung first step. Right? Itong video na to, ito yung first step. Tapos, there are also a lot of books naman that are readily available and fully booked or online, right? And marami naman ding mga videos for free, lalo na yung Instagrams. Meron silang tinatawag na Investa University, which is a program that teaches technical analysis / fundamental analysis for free. Yun din, marami na mga avenues ngayon to learn for free. And if you really find it daunting, it is really daunting. Kaya ako, ang ina-advise ko talaga is you have to really start with the burn account muna yung money na you're willing to lose muna. So, typical, kunyari, rich kid sa Lasal, baka burn account lang niya, 100,000 pesos, di ba? Dapat, yun, mag-practice siya muna siya sa ganung account, tapos, yun yung tipong kapag nasunog niya lahat, dapat okay lang sa kanya. Parang, kumbaga, tuition fee na lang niya, etc. Quote-unquote. So, ganun, practice lang. Pwede rin naman, gamitin mo muna virtual account, right? So, Instagrams, meron silang virtual account for 100,000 pesos. Free yun, totally free. Pwede yun ang gamitin mo. But again, kasi kapag virtual versus real account, nag-iiba yung trading style mo dyan because kapag virtual, ang mindset mo dyan is hindi naman totoong pera. So, baka magbaboy-baboy ka. Diba? Pero pag real money, dun talaga papasok yung mga emotions mo. Nag-amplify lahat ng mga emotions mo nga. So, siguro in a nutshell, ayun, practice with the burn account or use a virtual account, read books, watch more videos, and obviously, shameless plug, pwede nyo rin akong i-PM kasi again, yung page ko, it's completely free. I teach for free. Pwede ko yung i-guide, ganyan. And wala na akong na-ask for return. For anything in return, rather. And when it comes to balancing yung studies and trading, mukhang kaya naman Pero kasi in my case, nung mga third or fourth year na ako, nag full on trading ako Parang hindi ko masyado finocus yung ACADS ko nun. Of course, wag tularan unless gusto nyo, diba? Pero ako kasi, in my opinion, it is something that I really want to do for the rest of my life. And there are also jobs related to it, right? May mga hedge fund na companies na gumagawa nun. May mga banko, treasury, ganyan. So yun, nag full on trading ako nun. Tapos, ACADS, medyo sidestep muna, di ba? That's what I did. Pero again, may mga friends ako na nakakapag-focus ng academics nila and trading, nagawa naman ng maayos. So it really depends on you. It really depends on your time management. So yeah, that's it lang.
That's really good to know that learning about all of this is really at our fingertips and that we have so many options, so many avenues. And before we end, we just have a very, very quick segment. It's fast talk. So I'll just be asking you a few questions and then you'll just answer. No need to explain. So just let me know when you're ready.
Game.
Okay. Technical or fundamental?
Technical.
Trading or investing?
Trading.
Bearish or bullish?
Bullish.
Blue chips or penny stocks?
Penny stocks.
High risk or low risk?
High risk.
And lastly, buy late or sell early?
Sell early.
All right. So that's it. That ends our segment. Thank you so much. We hope you learned a lot in this episode, and we have more topics soon. So be sure to stay tuned. Thank you again, Enzo, for taking the time to be with us today. Please stay safe and healthy, everyone, and see you in our next episode.
Right. Thank you very much, guys.